This is Steve Pinone. I'm joined by Whitey Rigsby as the Wildcats prepare for their Sweet 16 matchup with the Michigan Wolverines. Whitey, Michigan, a top 10 team in the preseason. Had some ups and downs, but on a pretty hot streak right now.
Yeah, and the only thing that matters, and Coach Wright from years and years ago, is how you're playing now. Not how you played in November, not how you played in December. This team struggled a little bit, but as you said, to start the season, they were a top 10 team, and they're playing like a top 10 team now. And let's face it, this is a great time of year to still be playing college basketball.
And Coach Wright always talks about his teams playing their best. This will be the best Villanova basketball team we can be in March. What are you seeing from the Wildcats? We'll start in the beginning of March. We went out to Butler, and then the Big East tournament, and then obviously that first weekend in Pittsburgh.
The way they spread the ball around, you stop Gillespie, Moore plays well. You stop Moore, Jermaine Samuels plays well. They have a lot of options on this team, as does Michigan. They have four guys in double figures just like the Wildcats do, but I think the fact they can spread the ball out helps teams this time of year because you're not a foul trouble away, you're not a sprained ankle away. You have other guys to fill in those spots, and the Wildcats have been that way pretty much all year long, though.
And I think what they've really stepped up is defensively. They've held teams into the 60s, starting with that Butler game we talked about. And Villanova defense, it's a collective effort because with all the switching going on, you see point guards guarding centers, centers having to come out and guard guards. Talk a little bit about the Villanova defense.
Yeah, it's one thing that Coach Wright's teams have always done very well. You remember back in 18 and 16, the fact they can switch on all spots. And really, that generally it's a tribute to big guys like Daniel Echefo and now Eric Dixon being able to guard guards, but also guards like Arcidiacono, like Jalen Brunson, like Caleb Daniels, like Colin Gillespie, able to guard big people inside and not get beat up too badly. So that's been a wonderful thing for Villanova to do. Other teams don't do that as well as Villanova does.
Michigan split with Ohio State during the year, who Villanova just played last weekend. Michigan has a dominant center. Really, Ohio State was bigger, but not big like they have the kid Dickinson that Michigan has. Rebounding's got to be a big key.
Yeah, it certainly is. And Dickinson's a terrific player because unlike Kalkbrenner, who can really play well inside and kill you from Creighton, he's not going to step out. Watson kill you physically inside from Providence, not going to step out. This kid will step out and shoot threes. Not going to shoot a lot of them, but he can. Therefore, you have to play him on the perimeter. You can't slough off him where their other guards might back down. But I think what's going to help Villanova, I think Michigan's guards are both 6'1". Our guards might have a good time with them backing them down as they like to do.
And I think the important thing for Villanova, as we talk about, is spreading the ball around, as you mentioned, but just the ability for a kid like Daniels to come off the bench and score. Hopefully get a little bit more offense from Slater. And then the reemergence of Eric Dixon as an offensive threat.
Yeah, for sure. And Jermaine Samuels, who's been terrific. But I think Caleb Daniels, over the last 3 or 4 weeks, has been a terrific player. You talk about a sixth starter. He absolutely has been a sixth starter. Sometimes he's at the scores table a minute into the first half. So he plays starters minutes, and he has been terrific, shooting the ball, especially from the corners. And another guy who's really become a good defender. And what I like about Caleb Daniels, like Samuels, the way they attack the defensive glass.
Well, to give the Villanova fans a couple of keys to look for early in the game, you think it's going to be a good night for the Cats?
Well, I think I always want to see Justin Moore make a shot early. If he can make a shot early, if Jermaine Samuels made the first shot of the game the other day, the last game of the round of 32, those guys get off early because Gillespie's going to be Gillespie. When it all shakes out, Gillespie's going to make enough shots. He's going to be a star player. He's going to shoot free throws at the end of the game. But it's those other guys that I always see that third scorer. Who's going to be that third scorer? It's generally Moore and Gillespie. Is it going to be Samuels? Is it going to be Daniels? They need balanced scoring. And again, of course, they need to defend and protect the basketball. It's always a trait of Jay Wright's teams.
Well, we appreciate your time.
No problem. Fun time of year.